First off, your first name is John.
Well, my first name is John, yes.
Which is a very familiar Burmese name, correct?
Not really.
How do you get the name John?
John, actually my name, I have a long name in my real name. But as I grew up in Christian family, my parents used to call me John, and it became John Tang.
Very good. And what was it's kind of interesting because Americans will think of Burma as completely Buddhist, and it's kind of a strange thing to think that Burma had enough Christian missionaries to come into Burma that there would be a number of Burmese that were Christians.
Actually, yes. Actually, I'm from Chin State. I'm a Chin, and northern Chin. And I think the first missionary came to our country around 1950, around there. I'm not sure the exact date and time, but it came first to our capital city. Then later that gradually the missionary extend his mission, and I think until when I was small, still my parents are worshiping the spirit and all this. But after, have you ever heard that the ABM, American Baptist Mission, came to our village, and some people convert to Christian, including my parents. Then we started to become Christian.
Did that cause problems at all in Burma you're kind of going against the tide of what people are used to doing, of being, growing up. I mean, Americans will grow up in the family that they grew up in, and they will become the same as their parents and their parents. What was it like to have been Burmese and then have gone to a Western religion? Did that cause problems with you growing up in Burma?
No, not really, because since when I was a small boy, I grew up in Christianity. So for me, really very difficult, especially in my state. We are not seeing much of Buddhist people, and there is like in my village, when I was a small boy, we have never seen a Buddha and monk. We have never seen. Everybody Christians there, so in my area.
How old were you when you left Burma?
When I left Burma,
how old
it was 2007. That means 8, 9, 10, 6 years ago.
Okay, it was 6 years ago. How old were you 6 years ago?
46. I think now it's 50, 45.
And
46.
And was it because the missionaries that you spoke English so well?
No, there is other reasons. Especially, where I live at the moment.
No. I was interested in how you can speak English so well.
No, really, I'm not speaking really very well, but I can speak.
I can understand.
And as I was in Chin State, we are bordered with India. Then we can easily cross to India, and I have attended Bible college in India.
And that had been a British colony for 100 some years. What did your parents do in Burma?
Farmers.
Farmers?
We had a farm. Actually, when I was high school, until my high school complete in Chin Hill. We were in Chin Hill, but after I completed my high school, we just moved to second division. But it is like a Chin land. It's right border of Chin. So for us, not much of problem. After we reached there, my father bought a big farm. Then we depend on that farm.
Okay, and my relatives, grandparents, grew up on a farm. And so when I was a young boy, I spent summers on the farm, so I know a dairy farm, I know about milking cows.
Yes, we have a lot of buffalo, cow.
So what kind of farmers were your parents? What did they?
I should say paddy farm.
Dairy?
Paddy, rice.
Oh. And was that, rice was the main issue, or the main staple for their farming?
Yes, rice is the one that we have big land, and we used to plow with buffalo, water buffalo we use. Sometimes we use cow. We don't have a tractor there.
And how? What was the season for the rice? Did you have two seasons for rice?
Because before I came here, the government trained some of the farmers to grow the rice for 2 times in a year. But usually we used to have once a year.
And where did you get the water?
There is a lot of water, the river.
The river?
The river comes from mountain. Then we try to get from there.
And you came from Burma and came to the United States. What are you doing in the United States right now?
Right now? I'm working as I'm a Chin people. I'm working as a case manager of UZO. There is a United Zoo organization. I'm one of the case manager and working with the PAC, Burmese Advocacy Center. And whatever we need, they lead us, they guide us, and they show us the way how to do it. And we try to support our community as a case manager, like a self-sufficiency family, the whole family, to become self-sufficiency.
Can you tell me something about what, if I, as an American, would ask you, as a Burmese, to tell me something about what your goals and your expectations for your children and their children. How does a father, mother, Burmese look at raising children and their family here in the States? I mean, what are they taking from Burma to bring here to the States to raise their children, and what would be the issues that are important for them?
Yes, that's very important, because for my personal, my goal is especially I just focus on my family, and then my brother, my sister, and that I just make it wider. But especially my goal is all my children got education, and then let the youngest one be married. And now the youngest one is only 7, so I'm now 51. So I don't know when he is going to get married. I've been praying.
It's going to be at least 10 years from now.
I want all my children to get education, job in the future. But I'm really struggling one thing, that all my children does not have the American education. They are not educated because my big one, my oldest son, he has 3 kids right now, 3 children. So recently he came here. I told him to go to ESL class, only 2 hours. The rest of the day he just is sitting. I don't know what. I told him to go to continue your ESL class. But the rest of the youngest one who start kindergarten, the youngest one and 3% who catch up American education. And
You start at that level, and it's
Yeah.
a lot easier than you start in the middle and try to work your way up.
Yes. 2% can speak a bit of English, but one is really worse. He cannot even understand. So it is the same thing that my big one does not speak, but I'm happy that the younger one can speak English and they catch up the education of the American system.
And this is a question that and if I were in your shoes, I'm not sure what I would want to do. You came to the United States, you're living in the United States, you're welcomed in here and everybody likes you. But you're kind of put in the position of choosing between Burma and the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? And it's none of my business and what's right or wrong. It's a question of how you process that yourself. You know, you've come to the United States. You're settled here. You're working your way to the top. Is there any part of you that kind of feels that you kind of like to go back, or do you?
Yes, as I grow up in Burma, I love Burma.
You came as an adult.
I want to put the situation to go back and put there, then I would choose, if Burma is like American, I choose the Burma. I mean, there is a different thing. I love Burma, I grew up in Burma, in Chinland, I love my land, I want to go back. But
What about to the little children?
but for my children, they used to be here. For them, as you told me, their home is here. So I don't know the future, how it will come, but I want to go back. My country.
But isn't there kind of I mean, when you, for example, your 7-year-old, that kid,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell him any difference between, I mean, he's an American.
Yes.
And so do you anticipate a time when you want to go back and he's a little older and he wants to stay here?
Yeah, sure, he will be here. He want to stay here. I'm sure that because they grow up in here, they know very well about American culture and everything. But for us, we grow up in there. I think they don't want to follow me even I go back there.
Yeah, I had spent a year in Scotland 45 years ago, and just went back this past spring. And you know, I'm Scottish, but you know, I'm Scottish. I'm American, and I read about Scotland, but I'm not tied to it. So I'm going to be a little bit like the 7-year-old. I mean, I'm Burmese, but you know, Burmese by a generation ago, and then he gets settled down in the United States and has a family. You know, it'll be 2 or 3 generations separating him from what you hold close to you.
Yes.
But that's a rub between the older generation and the younger generation. So you're Burmese and he's American, and I am Burmese.
Different. But the big one, they need to catch up the culture of American.
But
Like
that's,
my big son, he came here recently. He said, "What is the
how old was he when he came?
He came here 2 months ago. Now he's 23.
Well, that's kind of like a slap.
He told me that. I thought that after I came to United States, whatever I like, there will be, we can get easily. We can take something without doing anything. But I came to know that we have to work hard in America. Unless that we cannot survive. But of course, there is, in America, there is all the resources are good, and everything is okay.
We don't, we're dealt cards by our past and what's happening in the present, and these are the cards that you're dealt with. And sometimes we'd like to take some of these cards back and move them around, and you really don't have that much of a choice, and you have to look at the cards and see what I'm going to do with it. And so, but it is a difficult.
Yes.
So you have the American Burmese situation, and you have the situation in your family where you have that break and split, and so. But it's an opportunity, and it's what's been dealt to each of us, and we have to figure out how we're going to get out of it.
Yes. But my family, especially, we grew up with a Chin culture. After we came here, we tried to catch up on American culture. So there is a lot of conflict. Always we have to adjust. Especially, I'm facing a problem with 17 young boy and 15 years old girl. Sometimes she want to act, they want to act like American. But for me, I grew up in Chin culture. I don't allow. Then sometimes it's conflict.
Yeah, and that culture from Burma, the Chin culture, is not something that 7-year-old sees every day.
Yes.
It's McDonald's, and it's yeah. That would be a difficult thing for our parents. But
everything is new. I mean, after we came here, the experience, the way of living, the way of behaving, the way of communication, each other, everything is new for us.
That has a and it's not even an issue whether it's right or wrong. It's that is you were born this way, and your children, the youngest one, are this way. But it's obvious.